Hey everybody, my name is Jenny and welcome to Veritable Volatility. Today we're going to be looking at the perfume Cosmic by Kylie Jenner. Cosmic has notes of star jasmine, blood orange, amber, peony, and musk, vanilla, and cedar in the base. Now, this perfume came out a little bit less than a year ago, I want to say, so I'm not even going to pretend like, I'm like not late to the hype with this because we don't play by those rules here. I don't give a fuck about that. So with my reviews, they're very structured. I will be first doing a generalized review consisting of 4 categories: scent, longevity / sillage, mood, and art / symbolism. And then I will be taking it a step further and rating it on my scale called Realgar stars, which makes a conclusion of how arsenic mayhem a fragrance is. And if you don't know, arsenic mayhem is my little persona, so how on brand is it with me? If you don't care about that, which understandable, you just got here, then you can watch the first part and I'll put timestamps and everything. But enough rambling, let's just jump right into it, y'all. So, as outlined, I will be starting with the generalized review. The first category of which is the scent. This is a very warm, ambery, musky vanilla mixed with florals and woodiness at the base. And there's also this unique note, I feel, of blood orange. And it adds quite a unique, deep citrus smell. It's not bright like lemon or bergamot would be in your typical scent profile, or, a regular orange. It's more... it's subtle, but it's really nice. It's more in the background, it's subdued. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's a top note. It could be a top note. Yeah, any sort of sharpness at all in this fragrance comes from the florals, the jasmine and the peony, not from the citrus. And this is anything but earthy. It's just really cloudy and up in the air and makes you feel like you're floating when you smell it. It's heavenly. The woods, it's very synthetic and not much like real wood. Like I said, there's no real earthiness to this at all. Nothing photorealistic. Not even really the flowers. Like I can't really make out a distinct jasmine. Like my mom has this jasmine little, what do you call it? The thing with the wood sticking out, like the diffuser things. Doesn't smell like that at all. You can tell it's floral and you can tell it's a complex, just general floralness. It's just not, it's not like a clear picture in your mind. It's fuzzy, it's dream-like. People say this smells like flower bomb. No, it doesn't. I don't think it smells like flower bomb at all. Flower bomb is earthy. It has, patchouli, which you can definitely for sure make out, and it grounds you. It makes you feel zen. This just makes you wanna float and like sing. Okay, the second category is the longevity and sillage. So this is nothing near eternal, and that's to be expected. It lasts on clothes for about a day or two, a few days. On skin, I get about like 4 hours with it. And I'd say it has like an arm's length sillage, nothing extraordinary. It's not gonna fill up a room. It's not Xerjoff level expensive, so it's not going to be a Xerjoff level performer. So I wouldn't be mad at this, just expect to get what you pay for. The third category I have is mood. So I like to wear this during summer. This is my summer scent. I have like, my signature scent for like every season. This is my summer one. I love it a lot. It's one of my favorites. It is floral, but it's also warm vanilla. So honestly, I think this could work anytime depending on your personality and your preferences. But personally, I think it's too sharp for winter. But I do have a relatively warm taste. I like resonant, deep scents generally. So after all my analysis and, letting this shit marinate in my head, I've come up with what I think this represents symbolically, because that's what this channel is all about. And remember, as artistic pieces, every fragrance's artistic significance is in the eye of the beholder. So my interpretation is by no means correct. There's no objectivity with this. Just being artsy. This fragrance is ethereal, it's angelic, it is everything we do not understand. It's cloudiness, it's dreaminess, it's anything but grounded and earthly and right in front of your eyes. Very blurry. That's the way I would describe it. it's advertised as being, you know, this out of this world type scent. And people like to argue that, saying like, this is so generic, this isn't out of this world at all. But I like to look, you know, underneath the surface. This is out of this world in the sense that it makes you feel out of this world. It makes you feel like an angel yourself when you put it on your body. So stop being so goddamn negative. Just appreciate the art, y'all. You would think that a fragrance by the damn Kardashians would be super mainstream and just, you know, simple, cookie cutter. But literally, the branding of this thing is autism and being different and being cosmic and being an alien. And so I think it pulls a 180, and that's beautiful. Kylie is a human too. Like, no matter how perfect and untouchable people seem on the surface, we're all weird. We all feel excluded in one sense or another. We're all humans, we're all unique. There are no two human beings that are exactly the same. We all feel different in some way. Also, I love how they chose star jasmine instead of regular jasmine, because that adds to the space theme. And the fact that none of these notes are very realistic or hyper-realistic or anything like that, like I said a second ago, makes this, again, not earthly and very disconnected. You wouldn't be able to identify a specific note if, you know, I just shoved this in your face. Like, what do you smell? Well, I can't tell. It just smells good. It just smells like an elixir of heaven, bitch. Like, for example, hold on. Like, if you smell Blooming Fire from Orabella, you can tell that this clearly has jasmine. It's not, you know, general white floral. It's not even like general flowers, generally floral. You can tell it's jasmine. Like, it smells just like that diffuser in my mother's room. Whereas this has jasmine too, but really, you can't tell it's jasmine, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell it's peony either. It just smells floral. It's blended, it's blurry. You can't tell what you're smelling. Even that unique note of blood orange, like, I'm sure, unless you have a really defined nose palette, you wouldn't be like, yo, there's definitely blood orange in that. Like, what? Who even knows what that smells like? So that's all for my general review. For those of you who don't care about Arsenic Mayhem, leave now. It was great seeing you, but I will be getting into the Realgar star rating. Realgar stars has 5 categories. Each category I will give from 0 to 1. Each of the 5 would essentially be stars, and it's, you know, subdivided by tenths. So I'll include a picture of my, you know, Canva analysis thing, because this is how much of a nerd I am, oh my god. But this is, you know, Cosmic Realgar star. You know what, maybe I'll include a link in the description if you want to see all my analyses. Yeah, I gave this one for gender a 6.5. For reference, a purely feminine scent would get a 0.5 from me. Here's the deal. Gender has a lot of gray area in perfumery, but generally the way I think of today's culture has it as that feminine scents, or notes that would make a scent feminine, would be sweet/gourmand type notes, florals, fruity, and powdery notes because they smell like makeup. And as for masculine notes, I would consider it to be woody, leathery notes. Tobacco is specifically very masculine, and earthy scents. Like, to me, Jazz Club and By the Fireplace are pretty similar, but Jazz Club is way more masculine because it has that tobacco note. To achieve an earthy scent, you know, get a combo of, say, greens. It's specific combinations of greens, woods, maybe like certain like petrichor notes or things that come from the earth. It's kind of specific. It's not the entirety of greens because they can be unisex. It's complicated. Just earthiness, okay, is very masculine. And this is just my system. I'm not a freaking expert, but I digress. Anyways, back to Cosmic. It's feminine. It's feminine. But by no means is it pure estrogen in a bottle. Cosmic has 3 notes that I'd say classify as contributing to its femininity, all of which are quite intensive, I think. It's the peony and the star jasmine, which are florals, as well as this vanilla that I think is very sweet and gourmand, like I described a second ago. The cedarwood adds a factor of masculinity, and everything else, the orange, the amber, and the musk, are androgynous. They don't really have a gender to me. onto the notes category of Realgar stars. I only dock points in this category if there's a specific note that sort of, you know, is a monkey wrench in the thematic, you know, story of the notes. So if it contradicts who arsenic is. So for these notes, I gave it a perfect one. Nothing really contradicts anything about arsenic at all. And I will elaborate on that so you understand what I'm even talking about. I'm gonna first talk about that freaking sanguine orange note, y'all. So our girl Arsenic has a dark ass twisted sense of humor. She'd be joking about disease, she'll be joking about death, she'll be joking about all sorts of dark things that I shouldn't even mention. And I think that blood orange is a great symbol for dark humor in general, because think about it, regular citrus, regular orange is bright and happy, but if you add that word blood to it, and since this is more subdued and in the background and less, you know, in your face happy, I think blood orange is just a great symbol for dark humor. So dark humor. I think this vein of scent, you know, the amberiness in general is very arsenic mayhem as, you know, a baseline. Amber is thick, warm. It's warm in color. It just represents fire, and I just think warm scents as compared to fresh or cool scents are just more me in general. And then I will also talk about how there's white florals in this. The jasmine, white florals to me represent, I'm reading off right now, my little symbolism chart. Every girl just loves flowers, right? Flowers is just girliness, man. And it's just arsenic's type of flower. It's the white flowers, it's just hers. Nothing else to it. It's purity. Purity is the dichotomy between purity and impurity is just a theme I like to toss around in my head a lot. And this also has vanilla. So vanilla to me represents purity as well because it's white. Vanilla flavored things are white. It's sweet. It symbolizes love, comfort, and stability. Comfort, a lack of the feeling that things can ever go wrong or that anything is unpredictable. It represents, you know, things that are unchanging, predictable things. And tried and trueness, and I guess a negative connotation would be boring, but it's trustworthy, it's stable. So it adds this, you know, fluffy blanket of comfort, which Miss Ars needs. I'll also add, from a quick Google search, red peony represents self-consciousness, which, you know, connects very well. And then finally, I will talk about the wood. Wood represents hard work, anger, masculinity, achieving things, putting your head down. Very masculine energy to me. Our girl is very in touch with both energies, her feminine side and her masculine side. And you know, this up in the air cloudiness, blurriness is something I even include in my music. That's why I use delay and reverb and like just middle frequencies and making it very hard to pick things out, like sound soup. It's just that brain fog is a very, you know, dear thing to who arsenic is. Very airy and light, but at the same time fiery because we got that wood and that amber. Inspiration, dreams. That's who she is, yeah. I sound like a damn psychic right now, but this is what you need to do to think about symbolism, Jesus. Third category of Realgar stars, the name. Now, as I described in my intro video, the intro to Veritable Volatility, names are very important to me. If I don't like the name, I will not buy the perfume, and oftentimes the name is something that catches my eye, and then, you know, it definitely plays a big role in whether I buy it or not, is what I'm trying to say. The name Cosmic. It's simple, makes me think of the universe, makes me think of how arsenic is in a different universe than us, makes me think of Dharma, makes me think of angels, makes me think of just how things ought to be. And it's simple. And with this category, the name, as long as it's not offensive, I don't take off any notes. Same thing with this next category, the bottle. Now, as you can see, it's wonky looking and it's supposed to fit in your finger. I think it's beautifully out there. It's unique to me. Some people think it's ugly, but for me, all the more reason to love it. It fits in with that, you know, oddball sort of theme. We have to love how it's monochromatic pink. Even the metal ball at the top, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's a monochromatic pink color. It's not just silver. Duh, our girl is red. Doesn't break the red monochromatic rule at all. Giving schizo. Funny, because it's, again, Kylie Jenner, who is mainstream and you'd think of as being anything but autism and weird and out there. What am I even talking about, bro? It pulls a 180 to the point where it's the normal people who say, this scent is so basic. It's the basic people who say this scent is so basic. It's a paradox. They'll say like, I hate how celebrities keep making perfumes. Stop. Why do you care about that? And the final category of Realgar stars is lore. More specifically, it's the story / marketing, what the marketers want you to take from this. So it's supposed to be a fragrance that is out of this world. I think it says that in the campaign. It's supposed to be angelic, sort of this tinge of alien. I've heard some real ass people on the internet say, you know what? Who gives a fuck? I just care about the smell. And that's real. Who gives a damn? And they'd probably love it if it were, you know, like a niche, like underground house putting this out. They'd be like, this smells so angelic and lovely. It's just my #1 favorite scent ever. But because it's so mainstream, it's a mainstream person releasing it, they're like, oh, it's so likable. It's so easy to like. I'm not gonna like this one. Yeah. It's just happy, angelic, and a little bit of dark humor. Girly, angelic, which I love. And so I gave it a 1. The bottle I gave a 1, and the name I gave a 1 too, because they had nothing contradictory or offensive about it. Also, within the lore category, I think they do a great job of staying on brand with the notes, because again, the Star Jasmine thing, that was smart of them. I like that. The unpopular opinion, obviously I'm not a perfume expert, but I happen to think this is low-key a unique profile for, it's definitely not as freaking like basic and mainstream as people make it seem to be, because how many perfumes do you know that have blood orange? Like, can you name one? Ooh, that's cool, the way it reflects. Can you name one? Like, God, people are so dramatic. I just don't care. Anyways, with all that being said about Realgar stars, if we add up our scores of each of the 5 categories, we get a 4.65. I'll let you know that it's in my top 5 of all the perfumes I've rated on this scale. And it's not number 5. It's not number 5. It's number 4. Thank you for watching this sincerely. If you think this is cool and you'd watch more reviews like this on other scents, please let me know. Or if you have an idea of other perfume related videos I should make, definitely let me know that as well. I love this scent. It brings me so much serotonin. Really makes me happy. Yeah, that's kind of all I have today. I already have some videos coming up, some plans. But this channel's gonna be low-key. It's gonna be, I'm gonna post whenever I feel like it, and I don't really care. I just like talking about fragrance, so definitely give me a subscribe if you like that too. I just want this to be some really entertaining background noise. Keep being you. Stay proud of yourself.